Scrolling through the noise. Same lies, same voice. Tight talk, real soft. Watch me turn them off. Name ring bells, real offended in the check. 5,000 bodies all folded by the face. You can cap in the comments, I don't blink back. I just quote what you type, let you roast in the stack. You a keyboard king, I'm a guillotine tongue. Every take that you bring, leave it broke, half done. You be mad, hit cap, start spamming that junk. I be laughing on cam, sip coffee, stay slump, real offended. I'm the truth in the thread, turn the tough guy post to a ghost straight there. You can draw, you can scream, you can type all caps. I just scroll, screenshot, then I blues track rap, real offended. I'm the king of the live, 5,000 wins, you the number 5,005. You can bark in the dark, I just talk my smack. I don't take nonsense, I just send it right back. You say wake up, but you sleep through receipts. I drop links, timestamps, put your bluff on repeat. Every gotcha that you got, get got by the clip. Your logic thin as your Wi-Fi, always lagging and glitch. Call me everything cool, I'm allergic to the fake. You can flex, fake stats, I got real keepsakes. Every loss that you take is a mark on my wall. I turn trolls into trends, watch them raise then fall. Real offended. I'm the truth in the thread, turn the tough guy post to a ghost straight there. You can troll, you can scream, you can type all caps. I just scroll, screenshot, then I blues trap rap. Real offended. I'm the king of the live, 5,000 wins, you just number 5,005. You can bark in the dark, I just talk my smack. I don't take nonsense, I just send it.
What's good, Smuggy Smuggerson? I like that name. You gonna shake blank like last time? I don't know what that means, Fernando. I don't know what that means. Fernando said Earth is round, by the way. Fernando, I wonder if you have any scientific evidence of this. I doubt it. But if you want to come up and show us, you know I will always be willing to look at it. Always. I will never deny you that opportunity. Never. Mr. Palad, I disagree, but I guess I'll take that.
You don't want that cam on, you don't want that beam. I don't chase, I don't plead, I don't beg for a view. I just wait till you slip, then I read you your truth, yeah. I'm the truth.
Shout out Lando.
Tough guy post to a ghost straight there.
DA said, please finish the job, Mr. President. Wow.
I just scroll, screenshot, then I blues trap.
Grandpa said your glasses you don't need.
I'm the king of the life, 5,000 wins, you just number 5,005. You can bark in the dark, I just talk my slang. I don't take nonsense, I just send it right back. Real offended.
Sir Pix. Yeah, I saw what you're trying to do there. Sir Pix, that was, I give that joke a 5 out of 10. Maybe a 6, maybe even a 6. Shout out Truth Repeater for making that theme music for us. I appreciate him. You guys, please like the video. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you don't, then you don't have to subscribe. It's okay. I won't take it personal. I promise I won't. All right, let's see. Shout out everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. Hope you're feeling wonderful and smooth. Somebody said if the earth wasn't moving, we would fly into the, like, what are you basing that on? Are you just making this up? Are you basing this on sci-fi movies? Do you guys think sci-fi movies are real? Zero said America equals Atlantis. Can you elaborate? Yeah, America used to be called Atlantis before it was taken over. And that's why the colonization of America coincides with the technological revolution around the world. See, this is what the World Fairs was about. You know what I mean? Right? They took over America and then magically they had all of this technology for 1 week and then it all just went away. Right? That was all the Atlantean technology that was being developed in America. All right?
On a Sunday night, I might bang me some Mr. People's Champ. I'm something like a baller. The candy paint dripping off of the old school Impala. I'm with that big bank Hank, that Papa Joe.
Shout out Carmelo.
Turn the bass up.
User said indigenous Americans would disagree. Well, if they have proof, then I would believe them. Somebody said, what are you basing It's Not a Globe on? All scientific evidence ever. Andrew said, can you explain the Africa thing? Yeah, they lied about the out of Africa theory to justify colonization around the world. Same thing with the transatlantic slave trade. User said, you don't have proof. What makes you think I don't have proof? Master said, I'd rather hear the sax.
You gon' see about 20 carats sitting sideways. Oh.
Jim to the Shadow Realm. Actually, you know what? Leave him alone.
On a Sunday night, I might bang me some.
You just said you don't have proof because you haven't provided any. That is not logical. That's not logical at all. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just ignore people. Any requirements before I join the Discord? Just to be respectful, if you can. And then you're going to have to answer my questions, of course. You know, I'm not just going to let you come up here and yap uncontrollably. If you can answer my questions and we can get through that, I'll allow you to say whatever you want to say, as long as it's in bounds. So the Discord is on my page, by the way. Bloom, bloom. Somebody said they'd rather hear the saxophones. When you hear the saxophones, that means somebody's sliding around the corner on you. Anyways, that's what will come for you if you guys come up here and troll. Somebody said thousands of years of science and years of space travel. Well, a lot of that stuff has been fabricated. Yeah, and almost none of it has been authenticated for sure. Yeah, the sax definitely sounds like somebody screaming. That means it's time for you to go. Yeah, by the way, if you join the Discord and you want to hop on, let me know when you're in there and I'll bring you up. No, I won't expose anybody's Discord information. What's good, Gregory? Gregory said ad hominem comments are weak. Somebody said, do you know what Tartaria is? Tartaria is. I know a little bit about it. Like the video, by the way, guys. If you like the content, then subscribe, please. Somebody said, wait, are you saying dinosaurs are dragons? Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think that was clear. Jim said, cheers, thanks for the quality, content, and positivity. I enjoy watching your stream while taking my morning blank. I'm in Asia. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Jim. Thank you. What does we not equal African mean? It means the out of Africa theory is provably a lie that was made up by a particular person in order to justify colonization around the entire planet. Same thing with the transatlantic slave trade. These things are provably a lie. How do you look at the sky and see every other star? Sir, how do you look at the sky and think that is now proof of what the ground is? That doesn't make any sense. The sky is not proof of what the ground is. Shout out, make my day go. I see you up there. Violet said, do you watch basketball? Yeah, of course I do. I don't necessarily have a favorite team, although this year I was kind of rooting for Charlotte. Somebody said Jerry Curl. Jerry could never in his entire life or his children's lives. Jerry could never. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video. And let me know when you join the Discord. Let me know when you join the Discord and you want to jump in. I'll let you guys jump on. The person that said Jerry Curl in 2026, what kind of name is that? Like, are you really like, dude, you might be the corniest person I've ever met. That is a crazy name to have. John said, my wife has a flat blank, so the earth must be flat. That's basically the logic that you guys have when you say the sky is a certain thing, so the ground must be a certain thing. It's basically the exact same logic. Violet says, same, I really do like Charlotte. All the real basketball fans like Charlotte. The real basketball fans. I think they have like the lead, they're the least foul team in the league. So they actually make the most actual physical baskets, you know what I mean, out of any other team. I don't know if that's necessarily a true stat. I'm just saying based on what I watch and watching them, I'm like most of their points come from actually making buckets, not getting fouls. Winnie said, also one last thing. I'm going up to debate the history point. What specific history are you talking about? We're talking about all history, and you cannot come up here and ask about the Second World War, all right? That's the only thing you can't ask about. And obviously try to keep it YouTube safe. That's why I'm putting that caveat in there, all right? So I'm talking about absolutely everything. It was told in the form of a lie. All history is a lie. All of it. O'Neill said, bro, don't listen to these guys. They were programmed too good for you to argue with them. I agree, but I want to give them the opportunity to change my mind. All right? This is why I'm so confident and it seems like I'm arrogant, because I always give people the opportunity to change my mind. And if you can do it, with logic, and actual evidence, if we're talking about science, then okay. But it hasn't happened in 16,000. It's like 17,000 by now. I haven't changed it in a while. So 17,000, you know what I mean? So the history of scientists saying the earth is flat is a lie? Huh? Smuggy said we are part of a reset. High Spirit said, what do you think about the mud floods? I think that there's plenty of evidence to prove that there were mud floods. As a matter of fact, most of America is currently halfway under mud. Bet you guys didn't even know that. You guys are walking around on the top of the ruins of cities. Like, have you seen Futurama? Futurama, okay? Yeah, it's just like Futurama. Shawnee said, I asked before about the Earth. Is that why we have connecting flights so the distance can seem further than what it truly is? I honestly couldn't answer that for 100%. I couldn't answer that. But it would, make sense. The whole flight thing in general is really a way to control people's ability to travel. So their goal is to shrink the amount of the Earth that people actually travel to. They want the least amount of exploring. And so the whole flight thing in general, I'm sure that every bit of it is corrupt and suspicious for one reason or another. Cristiano said, I don't want to debate, but all your facts are wrong. I understand, bro. Most people are scared of me. Smuggy said there were electric vehicles before 1900s. That's a fact. Jimmy said I didn't read his comment. Listen, if I don't get to your guys' comments, I'm sorry. I can only read so much. All right, I'm looking and scrolling. All right, so I will read every comment $2 and up if it's that serious. All right, but I'll try to get to all the comments. Smuggy said not allowed to fly or boat. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Jimmy. I'm not reading that comment out loud. It's kind of dull. Violet said, can you give me a fact about what your main topic is about? My main topic? Listen, history is 100% lies. All right, there are no primary documents to confirm the stuff that you were taught in history class. They do not have primary documents to confirm any of this. Obviously not dinosaurs, but there are actual historical documents and records of people talking about interacting with dragons. And I can show you maps of America that call it flat out Atlantis. This is in the Library of Congress. Like I said, there are no primary documents that confirm that humanity started in Africa. There's not even really any evidence, archaeological or geological, that proves or even hints that humanity started in Africa. And the transatlantic slave trade coming from Africa has no primary documents. And none of these, the earth moving or the globe, have been proven scientifically in a lab. That's my point. I'm not commenting on what is and what is not real. I'm saying these have not been proven in a lab, and these don't have primary documents. If you look at the primary documents, if you look at what has happened in a lab, it will confirm what I'm telling you. Lalo, I just answered your question. Jimmy said my chat was genuine. Not really. There really wasn't much there. You just said, my grandma passed down to me her history. Was that fake? Bro, why are you asking me about what happened between you and your family? I don't give a damn about that. So that's why I ignored it. I'm like, this is a dumb question. Yeah, it's a dumb question. I stand on that. Winnie said, the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, blank. How are those documents lies? Let alone not primary sources. I didn't say the documents are lies. The story that they tell you around the documents are certainly not true. That's correct. Yeah, the Constitution in general was not made by the Founding Fathers. It was a copy of the Iroquois Constitution and many other legislatures that existed amongst Native Americans at the time already. You understand? They came over here and copied the system of government that was already going on. They did not make the Constitution. That's my point. I didn't say the document is a lie, but the story that they tell you about it is a lie. There you go. Somebody said hairspray messed up his brain. Yeah, right. You wish I put hairspray in this. I could never. Listen, the only thing that I put in my hair is water, all right? Me and my hair are guided by the water, all right? We're guided by the energy, the frequency, and the water. That's it. That's the only thing that guides us, all right? I get in the water, and whatever the water tells me, whatever the water tells my hair, that's what we do, all right? Ain't no oil, ain't no hairspray, ain't no Jerry in this. Jerry could never, all right? This is the way of the water. All right, that was a bit much. Somebody said, so what is outer space to you? Outer space is also the water. Thank you for that question. Tubular said, bro, you have gel. How much you want to bet? Smuggy, I see you down there. Smuggy said gravity is a made-up thing, my man. Shaq said it's a lot of people in the chat with no inner monologue. Smuggy said there is water above the firmament. Guys, please like the video, and if you like the content, please subscribe. If you want to call into the show, you can do it on the Discord. The Discord is on my channel page. So you click on the page, you can click on the Discord. Let me know when you're in there, and I will allow you to come in and plead your case. Okay, I'm a very nice man. That's a lie, actually. I'm not a nice person, but I will allow you to come up and convince me if you think you know. All right? If you say that you know, then I believe you. You need only come up and convince us. You need only come up and convince us if you can. Somebody said the Earth is a floating triangle in space. Mr. Lono said we are a plane, not a planet. Son of a Cool said density isn't a force, so what makes things fall? The fact that everything finds equilibrium makes things fall. That was well said. Mr. Lono said density and layers. Smuggy said we are trapped in the firmament because there is a parasite on Earth. That is interesting. Wow. That one was heavy. Shawnee said, are we under I think she meant, are we under a dome? I can't confirm or deny that. I don't like to make claims about things I don't know for sure. Gregory said, calling something a conspiracy is not an argument. Wolfen said, yes, the firmament, it's in the Bible. Shaq said oxygen is less dense, is a less dense form of water. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out Shaq. Oxygen is a less dense form of water. I agree. Jared said buoyancy. We got some smart people in the chat today. Smuggy said the Bible has been rewritten by man and revised so many times. Imagine believing a book wrote to program the masses. Interesting. Mr. Lono said Operation Fishbowl. Look it up. What's good, Zanfel? By the way, the Shadow Warrior Zanfel is in the chat. So listen, hey Zanfel, from now on, all right, only time out people that are spamming negative things. If they're spamming positive things, just give them a warning. All right, like tag them and let them know. Don't time out anybody that's spamming positive stuff. All right, or trying to spam, you know what I mean, to give arguments, you know, on our side, if you will, you know. Like I said, just give them a warning. I still don't want people spamming, but just give them a warning from now on. A bunch of people got timed out last time, and they were upset because they were spamming, but they were spamming positive stuff. So whatever. Son of a C said you can't explain why objects fall. We already did. Discord mod said history is indeed true. Well, what evidence do you have of this? Shaq said, just liked the video, brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Shaq. Yeah, you guys like the video, please. And if you like the content, please subscribe. I appreciate you so much. If you don't like the content, just leave us alone, all right? Smuggy said the Bible only gives bits of truth to make the lies believable. Intrepid said, how are you going to claim America is Atlantis? It doesn't match a single description. What description are you referring to? Jimmy said, mute everyone that disagrees. That's not what I said. I said, only mute the people that are spamming. And if they're spamming like hateful disagreement stuff. If they are spamming stuff that agrees, then just tell them to stop. Don't time them out if they're excited trying to help our cause, 100%. But if they are spamming negative stuff, ban them. All right? If you tell somebody to stop spamming and they are on our side and they keep doing it, then they get timed out. That's my point, all right? Zan said, Jimmy, please be respectful. Somebody said density doesn't make objects fall. I'll prove it to you right now. Get a cup of water, get a golf ball, and then get a ping pong ball. One of them will fall, one of them will stay at the top. What is the difference between the two? Guess what the difference is? It is density. Ding, 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 ding. You see how I prove stuff? You see what I say actually makes sense and is backed up by reality? You're welcome, all right? That one was free. Nigga, I didn't even charge you for that. Papa said, what's buoyancy? Get on Google. Smuggy said, we are part of a reset. Order out of chaos. Slaves since birth. There has been many resets and each requires history to be erased. If the world is round, how come my house don't slide down the street? Shout out, what is that? K-N? K-A-A-N. K-N-S-N. Thank you, K-N-S-N. That was funny. Right, if the world is around, how come the houses aren't sliding down the street? Shawnee said, how do we determine which documents are believable and which are stories from authors long ago that made things up? Great question. The way that we determine is we have to differentiate between primary, and secondary documents. Primary documents are things that are told by a person involved in the event. Secondary documents are, while they are contemporary, they're not told by people that are involved, but they are taken from a secondary source. They talked to somebody who was there, or they read a primary document and they are referencing the primary document. So those are only two real credible ways. Now, could a primary document still be a lie? Of course the primary document could still be a lie. So I'm not saying that makes it true, but if somebody's telling a story and there's not even primary documents, you know it's a lie, right? There's no primary documents at all. And then you look at the secondary documents and they're like, yeah, we're referencing something that happened. If they're referencing something that didn't happen within their lifetime, then they couldn't have known about it. That's how you know. So if you read a secondary source, they will say something like, oh, this comes from a story of a man 300 years ago. Hold on, what the hell? How you know about the man that lived 300 years ago? Where did you get that from? They actually will do shit like that. So you have to differentiate that way. That don't mean that it's foolproof, but that's how you do it. Wendy said you aren't completely right in what you're saying. Well, tell me where I'm wrong. Hey. Y'all stop me when I stop telling the truth. Mr. Lono said buoyancy is density. And notice how Wendy said you aren't completely right, but you know what they couldn't say? You are wrong. Couldn't say that though. Bro, you should fundraise to build your own city somewhere. I'm not interested in that at all. I like the cities where I'm already at. Yeah, California is just fine. Octopus said Japan is turning footsteps into electricity. Very interesting. That should give you guys a big hint about why a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is important. By the way, if you guys do want to call in, you join the Discord, let me know when you're in there and I'll let you up. "251 said, no, my uncle said one time he flew in an airplane and he said the earth was flat. Well, good for your uncle. Shaq said, just look up the world's fairs. Exactly. Somebody said, are you a flat earther? Are you a globe earther, John Week? Is that what you are? Smuggy said the sun and moon are inside the firmament. Mr. Lono said gravity can only be measured against it. Cannot be proven even exist. Gravity can only be measured against it. It cannot be proven to even exist. Cannot be recreated scientifically. Papa said everything required gravity. Name one thing that requires gravity. Smuggy said, I respect you doing this, bro. It takes a lot of courage. You make yourself, well, you know, let's not speak it into existence. Yeah. Hey, if you're gonna send me anything, send me thoughts of hope and send me thoughts of hope and safety. Absolutely. Yeah. I've been alive 170 years. I'm planning on being alive another 150 at least. FUS said, bro, people think I am far out believing we are non-physical, eternal beings. Do you have an opinion on that? I agree with you 100%. We've talked about that many times on here. Shout out Shawnee. Thank you so much for the 2 jewels. I agree with you 100% on that. That we are non-physical. Yeah, I don't believe that we are a body. I believe that we have a body, clearly. Yeah, we clearly, because think about it. When you close your eyes, right, and you start picturing yourself in other places, where are you right now? Are you inside your body? You know what I mean? So like that right there is proof that your mind exists outside of your body. It just either inhabits your body or it inhabits outside of the body. Mr. Lono said NERD. Nobody ever really. Smuggy said the pineal gland calcified from drinking water, from drinking tap water. 2518 John said the government bans people from going near Antarctica. Matthew said, our planet being formed requires gravity. Where did you get that from? Did you just make that up? By the way, like the video, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe. $25.18 said the Earth is flat. That's why it's forbidden to let people go to Antarctica, because that's where the ice wall is. Shani said, thank you for answering. I appreciate a man of logic and intelligence. I just subscribed. I'd like to hear more at a later time. See y'all for now. Shout out Shani. Thank you so much, Shani. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Shaq said, like the video. Mr. Lono said, Encyclopedia Americana 1958 says it all in clear, plain text. There is a firmament. FUS or Fustino said, you are very respectful and kind. A valid point is to be engaged meaningfully with the present moment. For example, running for half. Absolutely. I used to be a big runner when I was a kid, especially when I was upset. To be human is to have a spirit and a body. Matthew said, no, physical mass forms gravity. Okay, so first the mass needs gravity to be formed, and now the mass forms the gravity itself. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that totally. Mr. Lona said, search how to clean your pineal gland. Shawnee said, my friend says she is a spiritual being having a human experience. Amen. I like that. The story of him said hot dog and a sandwich are the same thing. Matthew said gravity formed the earth, answering your question. But earlier you said that no physical mass forms gravity. You said physical mass forms gravity, but then you're saying gravity forms the earth. I don't think that you possess that high level of critical thinking. Shane said, that's why we haven't explored the ocean. That's our real outer space. Kenny said, I don't fully understand the disconnect between believing God and gravity. I don't understand how you connected those two. Nobody was talking about either of those things in connection. I don't understand how you connected that. Is a corn dog a sandwich? No, a corn dog is a wrap. Story of him said biggest error or deliberate error was removing God and creation from their research. Intrepid said, why if I'm in the north versus in the south does the sky rotate the opposite way? It's because you are looking basically at an illusion. That's why. Because things are an apparent location when they get a certain distance away. You know, like if you're driving through LA and you see the palm trees, when you're a mile away from the palm trees are basically eye level. Well, the closer you get to them, they come up, 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 up like that. So if you guys say the stars are millions of miles away and a palm tree will warp in location with 1 mile away, imagine how much warping is going on with the stars. So you're not seeing them in the real location, is my point. The point is, that's not proof of anything either way, all right? High Spirit said, dropped a like. You've kept me glued to the discussion. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys like the content, then like the video. If you want us to do this more, you want more people to try to have these type of conversations, actually figuring out what's going on in the world, then subscribe. All right? Thank you. Mr. Lono said, we have never drilled below a few miles, so how do you know what is below that? $25.18 said telescopes would not work unless the earth was flat. That's interesting. Elaborate on that for us, 2518. Shaq said we need more thinkers. By the way, mods, also don't time people out if they're trying to make jokes, okay? I don't mind them trying to joke on me. As a matter of fact, I will read the funny jokes. If you make a joke and it's funny, I'll read it. It doesn't matter if it's about me or not. It just got to be funny, all right? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, 25-8. Hey, but let's send positive thoughts that we'll all be safe and fine in the future no matter what adversity comes against us, all right? You know, like Lord of the Rings. Hey, imagine we're all on the Lord of the Rings journey together, all right? 25-8. All right, we're all on a Lord of the Rings journey together. And yeah, we're going to have to go against Smaug, but somehow, through the power of friendship and togetherness, hey, we'll make it all happen, all right? Yeah, you be the Hobbit, I'll be Gandalf. Smuggy said you can still use a telescope to see things that you shouldn't be able to see if the Earth is curved. I actually agree with that. I have a picture that represents what you're saying right now. Trim said, you guys please like the video. If you like the content, please like the video. Shaq said, what do you think about those missing scientists? Hey, I don't know nothing about that, Shaq. Somebody said I look like, oh, no. What's good, Trip? Trip said, steak Saturday, y'all make it good. Yeah, if you guys want to call in, you know, just join the Discord. Let me know when you're in there. Shaq said we need more thinkers and less NPCs. Dizzy Chizzy said 100% is a bit much. Okay, what percentage would you prefer, Dizzy? Why do stars spin in the opposite way? I already answered that. Zanfel said the dragons representing tonight. Yep, shout out all my feather dragons in the chat. You guys like the video? If you like the content, please subscribe. If you don't like the content, please do not. Mr. Lono said the snipers do not use Coriolis effect. If the earth was curved, airplanes would constantly have to nosedive down and adjust to the curve. Arizona and Vegas will be out of water by next year. Interesting. I don't know if I believe that, Shaq. Ships couldn't float in the ocean unless the earth was flat. Shout out 2518. Mr. Lone said, school where you got your learning was not made for thinkers, it was made for workers. Story of him said, Stephen, try to position yourself south or north of the path of the sun, hence the difference in perspective. Somebody said during a lunar eclipse, the earth passes in between the sun and the moon. How do you know that's the earth doing that? Ugh. Gregory said, does the chat ever remember when the government told us the truth 100%? Zanfel said, stop spamming. Hey, stop spamming, guys. Yeah, to the shadow realm, bro. Mr. Lono said science is not a fact. 2518 said the government's trying to hide the ice wall. Kitty said, you guys really think that everything is from the government. Shaq said, I really believe other species walk among us. The Wait Experiences said, I don't know, but these comments suck. I agree. Smuggy said water wouldn't stay level or stick to the earth if earth was spinning as fast as we are told, especially at the equator. Story of him said, not me, you have limited range of sight. Use a telescope or zoom camera on the ocean to have that debunked. James Living Man said, they say the atmosphere thins the higher you get, then we have a vacuum in space. Science? They don't want us to believe in God because then we would have identity and purpose and lawful equal claim to the earth. That last part is the most important. That last part is the most important part. You guys, please like the video, okay? And if you like the content, please subscribe. Lawful equal claim to the earth. African American is a misnomer. That is correct, Shaq. Robert said facts let lie to us on every level. I think he meant they lie to us. Dusty said the chat is making me lose brain cells. Yeah, I'm trying to ignore most of it. I'm gonna read all the comments that actually have information in it, but all the other stuff I'm ignoring. All right. I guess I'll read all the comments $2 enough, but you know. All that nonsense, I'm not reading yet. I'm not reading that shit. $25.18 said the moon is bigger than the earth because the earth is flat like a rectangle. Dizzy said science is a crock. Smuggy said there are underground cities and tunnels that people have no idea about. The name that's been chosen said, the earth is me. Why y'all making up lies about me? Somebody said, I have a challenge for those who are interested, become an ordinary seaman. Pause. My boy Trip is actually a seaman. Pause. Yeah, Trip was in the Navy, if I'm not mistaken. So there are plenty of people in here that have educated me on some of this stuff that are seamen. Pause. $25.18 said people get scared when they find out the flat earth is very real. Insight said we live on a globe, bro. Level up? Okay. Beyond the ice wall, there is a fire ring like a wall. Interesting. Story of him said, Gregory, science definitely pushes its rhetoric regarding our meaning and purpose. You're an evolved ape, infinite universe from nothing, just so you're best in life according to the modern climate. Gregory said it should be easy for you guys to make an argument. And if you guys do want to call in, join the Discord and let me know when you're in there. Mr. Lono said gas or air cannot exist next to the vacuum of space. That is scientifically impossible. Meaning it cannot be recreated. I need to get some water, guys. How are dinosaurs dragons? Because dinosaurs are made up, dragons are not. Shaq said the NPCs are in here stealing loosh. Oh, why do I love that word so much? Yeah, hey, you guys, hey, stop trying to. I can't even say it. It just sounds too funny for me to say it. $25.18 said the flat Earth doesn't move. The stars move in the sky. Smuggy said the saying ignorance is bliss is real. Once you start connecting the dots, there's no going back. You'll never see the world the same, and you will question everything. Sorry, these comments are getting boring reading regular. I got to start reading them with some emphasis. I got to start reading them with some articulation. What's good, Tashag? No such thing as fossil fuels. We would never run out of oil in Earth. Mr. Lono said, I would rather trust the scientific method than your feelings. Shaq said the Chinese zodiac has a dragon. Chad thinks the scientific method is just repeating the popular facts. Push the Ed said giants are real though. $25.18 said the earth isn't a globe. It's flat. You were lied to. Turn to your local flat earth society. Definitely do not do that. Definitely do not turn to your local flat earth society. I'm not going to lie. You know what? Never mind. Stars are not suns or planets. Prove me wrong. I didn't grab some water, guys. All right, I'll be right back. Hey, like the video, okay? Like the video and subscribe if you like the content. All right, I'm gonna keep reading the content. I'm gonna keep reading the comments that are interesting, but I will read all the comments that are $2 up, even if it's not interesting. You can call in right here if you want to call in. Gregory said the Artemis mission is all cope. Nicodemus said the Flat Earth Society is full of shit. That's a fact. Shaq said we definitely won't run out of gas. We have someone that turned plastic into gas, right? Shout out Nina. Nina said the sun and the moon are local. Shaq said it's neither flat nor round. It's all a simulation. Very interesting. You guys like the video, please. Shadow said, I genuinely don't understand how someone can live in a world where you can confirm so much firsthand and just... I honestly don't understand how you can live in a world where someone can conform when you have so much firsthand information that proves the opposite. Yeah, you got it right, except you meant conform, not confirm. I don't understand how you guys could just conform without verifying it yourself, especially when there's so much firsthand information that disagrees with you. Nina said, word of the day, conform. Mr. Lono said, yes. Sorry. Yes, toroidal field plane of existence. Mr. Lono said, why do the launches never go straight up? Shaq said, make sure you drink spring or distilled water. Yeah, I actually drink distilled water. Mr. Lono said, how does your brainwashing feel, guys? Gregory said, how does America equals Atlantis? Well, Gregory, they used to call America Atlantis. I can show you maps that confirm such things. Somebody said, do you have any proof of anything you're saying? Yes, every bit of scientific and historical evidence ever proves what I'm saying. Smuggy said, there are maps of what Earth used to look like. Flat Earth maps that date hundreds of years ago. Zanfeld said, Octavio, but you are here. Smuggy said, Tartaria, yes. Yeah, shout out Kimchi. Kimchi said, trust your government, pay your taxes, they know how to spend it best, ask no questions, just watch the circus and consume, consume, consume. That's basically what the people in the comments want us to do. Why are you guys asking questions? Why are you asking questions? We already know this already. They already did it for us. They figured all of this out. That's what you want us to believe. That they figured it out and there's no reason for us to question what they are telling us, because of course they have our best interest in mind, right? Of course. Shaq said Cabbage Patch Kids are clones. I don't know if I agree with that, Shaq. Mr. Lono said you never asked questions, never question. Oh yeah, never ask questions, never question your reality. That guy said, how does the earth not move? It's not about how, it's about why I put that up here, and it's because they've never proven scientifically that the earth moves. Zanfil said, personal attacks show you are just a hater. Smuggy said Atlantis was another reset. Very interesting. Shaq said, just do your own research. It's not that hard. Shaq said they had incubator babies on display at the World's Fair is the reason why I say they're clones. Yes, but the reason why I say they might not be, because this also coincides with the throwing away of children crisis that was going on in Europe. So at the exact same time, they had to set up baby mailboxes in Europe because people were throwing away their children and because of the lack of resources. And so that led to a huge orphan crisis in Europe, where children began to be shipped all throughout from Eastern to Western Europe and then eventually to America. So yeah, maybe they were in a lab, or maybe they were just brought in from Europe, because I can show you the history of some of this propaganda and how they had to use certain forms of propaganda to get people to adopt babies at the time. So it could be either, is what I'm saying. It could be either. I don't know for sure. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't like to make claims about things that I don't have direct evidence for. Sora, thank you for the $2. Sora said, "Nice glasses, my guy." Well, thank you, Sora. I'm glad you like my glasses. Gregory said, "Does anyone have proof that the Earth moves? Let's hear it." Gregory, I see what you're doing. Shaq said, we need to start a Telegram chat with like-minded individuals. Smuggy said the sun and moon control seasons. Shout out Malik. Ginger said, okay, if the earth isn't moving, how would you explain the seasons? And you were already answered. The sun and the moon is what control the seasons. Shaq said, okay, brother, good point. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know for sure. They could have been, right? It's possible it was cloned, but it's also possible that they were just using that as a way to, kind of get all of these children that were being tossed away in Europe because Europe had a lack of resources at the time. Smuggy said, sun and moon are way smaller and closer than we are taught. They are inside the firmament. Mr. Lono said, once you resort to name calling, you've lost the argument. Sorry, I'm trying to spice it up a little bit. Smuggy said the way the sun and moon move and time zones make more sense on a flat earth map. Curious, how is we not African? There is no evidence scientific that the out of Africa theory is accurate, and there is no documented evidence that the transatlantic slave trade happened between America and Africa. There's no documented evidence of this. Hi from Algeria, Africa. You are a very specially good channel. Thank you so much. What is my thoughts on HAARP? I'd rather not get into it, honestly. Mr. Lono said, it's a plane, a flat plane, no space around us. Zanfeld said, Dizzy, you will eventually be assimilated. I will find you, and I will assimilate you. Shaq said, like the video, guys. It's not too many smart people out here, or people that are willing to let people come up and challenge them. Don't you want people to do less trolling on the internet? Don't you want people to want to come up and have intelligent conversations on YouTube? Right? Then like the video. And subscribe if you like the content. Okay? Only if you like it, though. Will Marco said they call us crazy for thinking and asking questions. Exactly, Will Marco. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's all I'm doing is asking questions. Somebody, Shaq, I see that comment. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but I see your comment and your point is received. Young Gonzo said double tap the screen. Young Gonzo, by the way, from now on, Gonzo, don't time out people that are spamming non-negative comments. All right, from now on. All right, I'll tell Danfeld as well. All right, only time out the people that are obviously spamming inappropriate stuff. If somebody is spamming and it's not like negative, then just tag them and ask them to stop. All right. If you tag them and ask them to stop and they keep doing it, then get their asses out of here. All right. Shout out Gonzo, man. I appreciate it. Shout out all the mods in the chat. For real. I love you guys so much. You already know I'm reading all the comments, $2 and up, and of course all the mod comments. All right. I'll read all the mod comments. And all the comments that are interesting. If I see a comment that's interesting and I want to read it, then I'll read it. All right. Thank you, Gonzo. I appreciate that. Nate said, I'm not African, but you definitely are. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, okay, Nate. Well, what are you then if you're not African? What are you, Nate? Mr. Lono, I see your comment about Maui, and yeah, I like I said, I know where you're going with that. I talk about this when we talk about politics, right? You know, politics is like war, which is the reason why I don't talk about it too much. You know, I went to school for politics, so I know what really goes on within politics, which is the reason why I know certain things you got to just do something about it rather than talk about it. You know what I mean? So there are certain things that I care about very much. All right, Mr. Lono, that was you? Yeah, Mr. Lono, right? There are certain things that I care about very much, the same way that I'm sure you care about that. And because I care about it, I don't talk about it on here. You know what I mean? Because there might be something that I'm working on in real life to affect change, and you don't want to give away your position. You know what I mean? So I read your comment and I understand what you're saying completely. That's why I said I'm like, you know, certain things, yeah, you know, that's more of a private conversation. You know what I mean? Young Gonzo said, double tap the screen so the algorithm hits different. Right. Like the video so people start wanting to do intelligent stuff instead of troll. Dunks said history is his story. Zanfel said David is an agent of Rage Bait University. Oh. Dung said history is basically a story that people could easily make it sound better or worse than it would, or add false evidence. And because none of it was recorded, we can't prove that it was real or not real. That brother has at least some level of intelligence. Or sister, I don't know. Sorry. Shaq said, we are indigenous to the land of America, not Africa. Somebody said, how is all history lies? I think somebody already explained that. Somebody said he's out to lunch. I actually just came back. Shaq said, what about her story? We never heard it from a woman point of view. I don't know if I believe that all the way, Shaq. Somebody said, what comments is he reading? I'm reading all the comments $2 and up, and I'm reading the comments that I find interesting enough for me to respond to, all right? And of course, the mod comments. Gregory says, stop stealing the loosh. Oh, you guys are so in love with my loosh. Oh, it sounds disgusting, but it's not. Mr. Lono said, I have heard the hollow earth theory, but I am skeptical of that one. But you never know. I'm with you on that. Shaq said, they're stealing loosh. Join the Discord and debate your argument. That's what Gonzo said. If you guys would like to debate, you're more than welcome to do it on the Discord, okay? I let anybody come up here and debate as long as you're respectful and you answer my questions. By the way, like the video, and if you like the content, then subscribe. And stop stealing the loosh. You guys are loosh nabbers. Zanfel said we call him tonight. Yeah, that's because nobody's calling in. They're all scared, Zanfel. Oh, no, I do see somebody. Hold on. Fustino, are you up here to troll us? Fustino, are you there? Bueno. Hola. Hola. Yeah, I can. Are you up here to troll us?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Shit.
Are you there, Fustino? It's kind of hard to hear you. All right, well, Fustino, grab some headphones or something, because we can't hear you, brother. All right, let me know when you're ready, game.
Huge delay.
Oh, you said there's a delay? Yeah, you said there's a delay? Maybe go out and try to come back in. I don't know. Shaq said, what about the mud floods?
How do I do that?
Just exit and come back in. Yeah, exit and come back in.
I refresh the page.
Yeah. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's better. All right, that's better. Do you have headphones or you don't have any headphones?
I with microphone.
You have a microphone?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, what subject did you come up here to talk about, Fustino?
Huge delay. I don't know how to fix it.
Mr. Lono said, question everything, guys. That is what you should take. Great channel. Thank you. Shout out Mr. Lono. Thank you so much for the gift, man.
I just turn off. I mute YouTube right now.
Yeah, mute that YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we can talk about a couple of topics.
Well, which one are you most interested in?
I don't know if you saw in the chat. I was Fustino, and I was talking about a referendum where we owe everyone runs once a week for half an hour, for an hour.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
You the idea to implement the idea to make a referendum, like you can open ChatGPT and see how you can make a referendum.
Oh, you were talking about getting people to walk? Is that what you said?
Running once a week.
Getting people to, you said you want to bring people together by getting everybody to run once a week.
That way we can unite the world by just slightly changing the topic of conversation. Not about media, not about war, just simple stuff. Food, running, exercise.
I mean, it's noble. I will say that. I mean, I'm on board, right? But I mean, I don't know if you can look at me like I'm in good shape though. So the people who are in good shape are on board. We're already running once a week. It's the people that aren't running once a week that you're gonna have to convince to start running. I don't know if that, you know, I live in one of the larger cities in America. I can tell you right now, there's a whole bunch of people out here. They ain't never gonna run once a week ever. I know people that ain't running once a year.
My point of view is like this. You open ChatGPT, how you get signatures and make a referendum in your country. And you implement it in a month's time.
Right, but to what end, though? To what end?
Unite the world, to change the topic of conversation in the media.
We can unite the world under the power of running. I mean, like I said, I'm on board. You know what I mean? I'm on board with you, but I just, you know, this is like, have you ever seen Fairly Odd Parents?
Bring the kids or something is the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody has seen Fairly Odd Parents. This is like Jorgen giving a speech on how to make the world healthy. Anyways, maybe I'm still a little kid at heart, man. I'm still a little kid. Anyway, listen, I'm on board with you, bro. If you create a petition to get the world to run once a week, you already have my signature. I'm right there with you, bro.
In Eastern Europe, and it's not so easy here, but you can do it in a month's time.
Hold on. How is it not easy to get people to run in Eastern Europe?
have to get the signatures for the referendum.
Well, how come you can't get signatures for the referendum?
Ask ChatGPT.
All right. Well, is that all you want to talk about, Fustino, or is there something else?
You believe we live on a globe?
You believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Have you personally seen a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth?
Each time they measured shadows from far distances.
Well, how do shadows prove the shape and the size of the Earth?
The method how they can say at this time this place has one shadow and the other place has another shadow.
How does that prove the shape and the size of the Earth?
Because it's mathematics, you make a triangle and then.
So you're saying it proves the Earth is a triangle?
It's mathematics. It's like
yeah, but math isn't scientific evidence though. Math is math. That happens on paper. Science happens in real life. So you can't prove something by writing some stuff on paper. You have to prove something by showing it in real life, not by writing stuff down on paper.
Why does the sun hide behind the horizon if the Earth is flat?
Well, that's not a part of the conversation we're having. Right now, we're discussing, is there scientific evidence that the Earth is a globe? Now, you pivoting, I would normally say that that is a sign that you don't really know what you're talking about, and you're trying to distract us from that by switching to another subject. I'm not going to say that, though. Normally, I would say that. Normally, I would say, oh, well, this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, and he's trying to, he's bringing up another subject, flat Earth, as a ruse. That's usually what you guys do. When you bring up flat Earth, it's a ruse to distract from the fact that you don't have proof of the globe. That's not what you're doing, is it? Are you trying to run game on me?
Not at all.
Okay, so let's stick to the globe Earth then. Do you have scientific evidence that proves the shape and the size of the Earth? And I don't think the shadows is getting it done because, you can't really explain how. You're just saying it does,
What about the rockets? They go into space.
What does that prove? What does that prove?
A lot.
Like what? What does it prove? Be specific.
We see it with our eyes. We see camera footage.
Oh, you're saying so you watch a movie and you believe what you see in the movie? Right?
To an extent, yes. To an extent, yes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. At least you can admit it, right? I believe it because I saw it on the video they produced. But videos can be faked. This is not considered scientific evidence. Especially in the world of AI, right? Come on now. Anything could be AI. Haven't you been fooled by some AI stuff? I bet you if I go in your Instagram right now, you are following at least one AI model. And you think she's real. There's at least one or two AI models that you're following on Instagram, and you like waking up and seeing them fake AI titties. Stop lying. You like seeing them fake AI stuff, all right? So you never know. You know what I mean? You've been fooled before. We've all been fooled.
AI is getting better and better.
Listen, I'm making a joke, okay? My point is, you never know what's real and what's not real. That's why we have the scientific method, okay? You need observations and experiments that can be repeated in order for something to be proven scientifically. If that hasn't happened, then you cannot say that something has been proven scientifically. That's where we're at. So I'm actually not even saying the Earth isn't a globe. What I'm saying is that we have not proven it scientifically. That's all I'm saying.
Hello?
Hold on one second, free food. Hold on. Does that make sense, Fustino? Fustino, does that make sense?
Excuse me?
Does that make sense what I just said to you?
Yeah, yes, it does.
Okay, great. But I appreciate you though for admitting, yeah, I just believe it because I don't have any reason not to believe them, which is fine. But you haven't seen scientific evidence yourself, right?
Not.
Okay, no problem, no problem. All right, hold on 1 second, 1 second. We'll come right back to you, Fustino. All right, free food. What's? Are you up here to troll us, bro?
Not really, no.
Not really.
I say not really because again, everything that you're saying by far, I don't know if you're either click farming or whatever, but the one thing I got.
Well, what does that have to do with you, though? I just want to know if you're gonna troll, yes or no.
Am I what?
I just want to know if you are going to troll, yes or no.
No.
You promise.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you're a big fan of Luffy. I'm assuming you're a big One Piece fan.
100%. My question to you.
Hold on, no. Before we get to that, bro, hold on, man. Let's develop some rapport first. Don't just jump into it. Let's get some foreplay going on. All right, come on, man.
Hey, listen, I'm just down, ready for it right now.
All right, well, I want some foreplay, so relax. By the way, like the video, guys, and subscribe if you like the content. Okay, so have you seen every One Piece episode?
I have watched it all the way up to the current.
All the way up to the current?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
And I rewatched everything and reread everything all the way back from the first chapter of the manga all the way up until the current.
Right. So, I mean, am I right or am I wrong that the major theme in One Piece is that government is evil? And they lie about everything.
Main part of it, the government is pretty much evil.
And they lie about everything, right? Everything, right? In One Piece, does the government lie about everything?
Yeah, mostly. Not everything, but mostly.
Right, like imagine, like remember the scene when they got rid of the whole island. You know what I'm talking about, right? Remember they got rid of the whole island, and then they basically tried to get rid of everybody that was there, so they couldn't tell anybody about it.
Yep.
What if I told you that he didn't make that story up? This is not related to what we're talking about. I just want to know, what would you say if I told you that's not a made up story, that they're telling a story that has happened, and you know. What would you say if I told you that? Would you say that? Oh no, that's impossible. Would you say that? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You would say that's impossible, huh?
Yes.
So you're a One Piece fan. You've seen every episode, but you think it's impossible that the government in real life lies, huh? And let me correct myself. You think let me correct myself. Hold on, let me correct myself. Let me correct myself. Hold on. You think it's impossible that the government can lie to that scale, but your favorite cartoon is One Piece? Really?
Your question was to me that is it possible if the whole island right now were to just immediately disappear?
I'm saying, is it possible that that any government anywhere has gotten rid of, let's say, an entire city or an entire island, and then got rid of anybody who might know something about it to make sure that certain information doesn't get out? Do you think that that's possible, that a government has ever done that?
Seen governments silence every other person or every other thing with countries to do that in that way.
You said you've never seen, or you have seen? You're saying you've never seen, or you have seen?
I'm saying that I have actually looked at, I have seen in books, I have seen in history itself. Yeah.
Right, so that governments are capable of such a thing, right? Huh?
Governments literally have dismantled other civilizations. Yes.
Right. Okay, so yes, I just want to be on the same page that it's not far-fetched that we're living in a world where governments will go to great lengths to protect certain lives. I just want to make sure I wasn't talking to somebody that found that to be a far-fetched idea while they also had Luffy, because that would be so weird and kind of a shame, an embarrassment to the name Luffy. If you had that on there and then you were also like, it's impossible that the government lies to us, I would just throw up in my mouth.
Okay.
You understand? You understand why, right? That's not far fetched, right?
Also, I kind of second that too.
Okay, cool. I just want look.
No, not that.
Oh,
Phoenix just said.
I didn't even
Like,
hear it. I didn't even hear it. What did they say? They're on
they
mute.
said
They're on mute. I
why
can't.
would a poet
I can only hear you right now, bro. I can only hear you. Just focus on me. All right, it's just me and you in here. It's just me and you, bro. All right, this is a very intimate conversation. Pause.
That's crazy.
We're bonding over One Piece, bro. How many people do you know that have seen every episode of One Piece? How many people do you know?
Very few, but even then,
Huh?
very few. But even then, what I'm trying
Me,
to say
I know
also
you're
is
the only other person I know that has seen every episode. I can't talk to you about it for a second. Dang. See, these guys are no fun, man. They're no fun. Listen, guys, like the video. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. All right, fake Luffy. What subject did you come up here to talk about?
is that again, I believe not only that the Earth is completely round, but also history is completely.
What does round mean? Do you think round and globe are the same thing? Is that what you think?
Sphere. A sphere.
Oh, you think it's a sphere? So are you backtracking on the round thing?
Yes.
So you're taking the round back, right? You're taking that back.
Yeah, because.
All right, so we've already got one backtrack. We've already got one backtrack. All right, we've already got one backtrack. See, I would have took it easy on you if you would have indulged my One Piece conversation, but now I can't. All right. So you think that the Earth is a sphere, right? For sure, for sure. And have you seen scientific evidence of that, or do you just trust in the government like the military tells all the people to do in One Piece?
Brother, I will tell you right now, the whole scientific thing that what you had from before with Funstino.
It's really a simple question, bro. It really is a simple question. I just want to know, have you seen scientific evidence? Have you seen scientific evidence? Or do you just believe in the government? You believe in
I have seen scientific evidence.
A scientific experiment. Hold on. A scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I will give you one thing.
Yes or no, bro? Yes or no? Is there a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size?
Demonstration of it.
I just want to know yes or no. Is there a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size? Listen, guys, I'm reading all the comments $2 and up, all right? I'm reading all the comments $2 and up. Like the video and subscribe if you like the content. Yes? Is that what you said? Yes?
Sure.
Huh?
Sure.
Sure. It don't sound like you're sure, bro. Sir David, stop spamming, bro, or you're getting sent.
I would like to get my thought out.
Sir David, stop spamming, or you're getting sent to the shadow realm, bro. Listen, bro, you can get your thought out once you answer my questions. Okay? After that, I'll let you say whatever you want to say, but you're not going to run away from my line of questioning.
I have no answer to just yet. If you can actually make me just speak for just one moment, I would appreciate it.
I will let you speak when I'm done with my line of questioning. I've already said that, and I'm not going to budge on that. All right, you're gonna finish this line of questioning, and then honestly, like I said, if you'd have indulged my One Piece conversation, maybe I'd be a little bit I gotta put it on you. Pause. So, are you saying yes? You have seen a scientific experiment that proved the shape and the size of the Earth?
Scientific experiment that can demonstrate that the world is a globe.
I said very specifically, yes or no, is there a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth? Yes or no, bro? It's okay. We'll move on if it's no. I'm not going to fault you on that. I promise. If it's no, I'll be like, all right, fine. Let's move on.
Your question, because I'm telling you specifically as well, it can actually help out with what you're just saying right now.
You see, like trying to run game on me, right? Trying to run game. Well, you don't really want. Well, no, I know you think you want an experiment, but these are not the drones you're looking for. Buddy is trying to use the Force to convince me that I'm not asking for what I'm asking for. What the hell is going on? What the helly? These are not the drones you're looking for, bro. Just say no so we can move on, please, because I know you don't have it. It doesn't exist. You've never seen a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth, right?
Shape, yes.
You have seen one?
Yes.
What is it?
Okay, so again, with the previous statement that you had from before, the light experiment, how you're supposed to do it is, I need you to understand.
What is the experiment, bro? You're explaining it already.
Okay,
just tell us what it is first. Tell us what it is first. What is the experiment?
And how can you actually get everything, like the light itself? How can you shine the light in any part of the world? If there is light right now out for the sun itself, how can you actually direct the sunlight itself if the world is flat?
What the
How
hell
can
are you talking
directionally
about?
see exactly?
How,
Okay.
bro,
So
no,
if the
hold on,
world, if the world
no.
is actually
They cannot hear you, bro. They cannot hear you at all. All right. I asked you to present to us the experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth. You're like, well, there's a light experiment and blah, 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 blah. And if you do the light this way, then you asked me, how would that work if the Earth was flat? You see what I said? Like, instead of admitting that they don't know what they're talking about, they will deflect to a separate subject thinking that we're going to forget what we were just talking about. He think I'm going to forget that we were just talking about that, right? No. Nobody can hear you, bro. All right? You're on mute. I can't even hear you, to be honest. I can't hear you either. Nobody. All right? You're talking into the wind, which you're more than welcome to do that, but just so you know. All right? So, I'm like, we did this earlier. I don't want to, but we will. I'm going to ask you one more time, and we will not move off this subject, bro, until you answer my question. I promise. We'll stay right here, the whole stream. Have you seen a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth? If you have, what is it? Don't ask me, how could this work on flat Earth? That's not a scientific experiment. You asking me that question. So you either answer my question, yes, I do. Here's the experiment. No, I haven't. And we'll move on, or you don't, and I'll move on to Phoenix. So have you seen it? Yes or no, bro?
have you believe in it? If you can, please, I want to hear you.
So you don't have an experiment. You don't have it. You want to hear me.
What you told me from before many times over, you have been talking over me many times. And quite frankly, also, with what I have been also saying, I have been giving like one thing, one piece of evidence by far, but I haven't heard your side of the story yet. But even if that was the case, even if that was, let's say, I want to learn a little bit more about what you're believing. I don't understand that you're still perfectly valid. And again, from what I'm hearing is that you're saying that you want to experiment on
All right. Shout out free food. I mean, that was kind of a waste. Phoenix, are you there, Phoenix? Phoenix, please don't come up and troll us, man. Please, God. Phoenix, are you up here to troll us?
I just want to be able to talk without being interrupted as you've
Well,
done to
well,
literally
I will
all
let
day.
you do that if you can answer my questions and you don't evade them like the last guy.
He wasn't evading. He was just restating how
oh,
he
really?
believes.
Really? Okay. So you want to argue about that? You sure you want to waste your time with that? Are you sure? We can go there if you want. Let me know if that's what you want to argue about. Let me know. You want to argue about the last guy?
Food. He already said.
All right. Who? Mother effer. Mother effer. All right. Are you there, bud? Phoenix. All right. So you want to spend your time arguing about the last guy, or do you want to go into whatever you want to talk about?
I think everything he's saying is completely valid, and I want you to give him the time to speak as he deserves.
Nobody deserves anything up here. I don't know where you were raised at, but I don't owe none of you guys nothing. I don't know you. I never met you. You never loaned me any money. Hey, you never loaned me any money. I don't know what you think I owe you. Why do you think I owe you anything?
The debate.
Huh? What'd you say? You're not muted, bro. What are you saying? All right, I guess we could just move on from him then. All right. Casey, are you up here to troll us, Casey?
Oh no, I'm not.
You're not. Okay. I'm gonna take a chance and believe you, okay, Casey? Please don't mess with my trust.
You're fine. You're fine. At
All
least
right.
it's not my intention to troll anybody.
You sound honest. Okay, so what subject did you come up here to talk about, Casey?
Well, I was really interested by a lot of the stuff that you had.
the dinosaurs being dragons, the history is a 100% lie. The ones that I might feel more comfortable talking about would probably be the Earth either not moving or not being a globe.
Okay, no problem. So I will allow you to say whatever it is that you want to say about that uninterrupted. As long as you answer my questions honestly and we can get through this. It's not that many questions. And I promise I'll make them as specific as possible. If the answer is no, I will not judge you for it, okay? So my first question is, have you ever personally seen a scientific experiment that proves that the earth is moving or proves the shape and the size of the earth? A scientific experiment. If you haven't personally seen one, that's okay.
Say seen. When I think of that, I think of the cognates of have learned as to have seen something. So the things that I remember
I'm sorry,
are
what was that?
some of the.
I didn't catch that. What was that?
You're fine. I was checking to see if you would accept an answer of I have learned about them before.
I was looking for a yes or
However,
no. I was looking for a yes, I've seen one, or no, I haven't personally seen it. But I mean, what you're saying is somebody has told me about it and I trust them, right? Went on?
so sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
So basically, what you're saying is I haven't seen them myself. Somebody has told me about them and I trust that person, right?
The best way I could put it would be that I've seen proofs that were derived by someone else. So I think
Well,
the
okay.
technical
Well,
answer to your question would be
this
no.
it sounds like a deflection now. All right. Like I said, that's why I try to make my questions very specific. Have you personally seen a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth? Personally, if it's no, then it's fine. I'm not gonna judge you, bro. I promise.
You're fine. I'm going to go ahead and say no just because I don't want to mislead when my real intention is to say I've seen proofs done
Okay,
by other people
no
who
problem.
have
And I will let you get in.
jived with the things that I've observed.
I will let you get into that. As soon as I'll let you get into that in a second. So just to be clear, you haven't personally seen scientific experiments that prove the shape and the size of the Earth, which is fine. Most people haven't, right? I haven't actually seen a scientific experiment either that proves the shape and the size of the Earth. Now, I have done a lot of research to go in and find one and still have been unsuccessful, which is why I'm where I am at today. That the Earth, as far as I'm speaking scientifically, is not a globe. Now, might it be a globe? Sure. But if we're speaking scientifically, based on what has been shown by the scientific method, that has not been done. Now, if you disagree with that, then you can show us some scientific experiments. If you don't have any qualms with that specifically, then you can show us what you are convinced by. Even though it's not a scientific experiment, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that that is clear because that's my position. My position is about scientific experiments. So I don't mind hearing about what you guys think, separate from scientific experiment, but we're not going to step on my point. You know what I mean? So, so
I understand.
right. So go ahead. Like I said, if you believe there are scientific experiments out there, you can explain them to us. Or if you just want to go into the reasoning that you have, you can do that all the same.
When I hear points like these, I'm not probably the best person to explain it because I don't have a background in a ton of things like calculus, or I'm not the best with trigonometry or some of the natural maths. But using certain physical characteristics of the Earth, there have been many people who have either attempted to divine the nature of the curvature of the surface of the Earth, or using things like light, gravity, observable phenomena that happen in order to kind of discern what we think and what we can over time observe as the true shape of the stuff that is around us. So I'd say I usually try to keep myself a little more skeptical on everything because it could turn out that I'm wrong.
That's 100%
And there
where
have
we
been
are. Yeah, that's 100% where me and every single person that is on this journey with me, in the comments, that's exactly where we are. Like I said, I am not going to be so arrogant to say that the Earth is for sure not a globe. What I will say very accurately and specifically is that they've never done a scientific experiment that has proven the shape nor the size of the Earth. So up until that point, belief in the globe is not a scientific one.
Mm. I do remember some, I guess you would call them postulates or some things that had been posed by Sir Isaac Newton based on some older works and some of his own observations that he had deduced that it would likely be that the shape of the Earth, due to his calculations, would be a oblate ellipsoid, which would be a 3D oval.
Right. Well, listen, I don't mind people believing whatever they want to believe mathematically. It may even be logical and the most logical thing. But until it's proven through scientific experiment, speaking scientifically, we can't say that that is necessarily confirmed. Sure, maybe it makes the most sense to him, but that up until this point has not been scientifically verified. Mathematically verified, that is a matter of great debate. And I'm not a mathematician, so I'm not going to say that he's wrong. Maybe he did prove it mathematically. But math and science are two different subjects for a very good reason. There's a large delta. There's a large delta between what both are able to prove.
The stream.
I think the Jews are lying about the moon landing.
Sorry, hold on a second. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Casey.
And of course, I don't mean to take up too much time because I think I know where you're going with most of this, but
I'm a very consistent man.
Just...
I'm like, if you've been listening so far, you do know where I'm going with this, 100%. I'm going to be very consistent all the way down the line with the logic. If it can't be confirmed through experiment, or if we're talking history, if there aren't primary documents, then as far as I'm concerned, it's still up for debate, you know. And that's just really where we stand.
Very true.
Yeah.
My only beef with some of that is that even though some things are not necessarily a one-for-one, and we don't have access to, say, the files that whatever data out in the universe was made with, I think we can, using science, try to pin, or how would I even say this? Try to pin what we see together, aggregate all of our observations, and then make predictions about what we see around us. So
I agree with that.
I would put it to you that the reason I believe that the Earth is not quite a globe, but is more of a 3D oval, is because most of the people who have spent their life's work further than I have been able to make observations that coincide generally with each other that point to that.
Well, providing that
So I would point you to the evidence of someone who is an expert in the field rather than giving you my testimony.
Right. Well, I appreciate that line of thinking. The part where we diverge is where I believe I have looked at what these experts say, and to me, it's not conclusive. I think that they are either lying or they're lost in their own sauce.
That in the sense that it is your right to do so, that you're valid in being able to choose what you believe or what you don't, because that's a sacred thing up to you.
I wish more people
be concerned.
I wish more people in the chat understood that. You know, what I believe doesn't make any difference as long as I'm not bringing physical harm to you or infringing on your ability to believe and live the way you want, which I am not.
There are a couple of things that some folks who believe some fringe, like spreading bad misinformation, etc., but usually that's a more extreme case. More often than not, I would think that things like this would function for either side, someone who believes your things that you have on the board versus someone who does not, would function more as a thought experiment between the two factions in this case. instead of a kind of a deal breaker between the two factions.
I mean, I wish it would, but it's the other side that operates in high levels of emotionalism and has not shown the ability to adjust their opinion in the face of new information, right? Because if we were all taught the exact same thing, meaning at one point we all were on the side of where you are. The people who are on this side have shown the ability to adjust their opinion in the face of different information. The side that you're on, for the most part, has not shown that ability. So the hostility is completely one-sided, completely.
Quite know if it would be a one-sided from, but I could see how somebody on one side of an argument would think that. But I would imagine that not all actors in this case would be bad faith.
If well, the people in my chat, I would say yes. Yeah, I mean, because the reality is that I don't spend time watching people that I have heavy disagreements with or I think are spreading misinformation. If I think people are spreading information, which they are, then I go and I spread my form of what I think is true information. You know what I mean? That is how you act in good faith. Trying to get somebody else shut down because they're doing something that you disagree with is extremely bad faith. Poisoning the well in the comments, whatever it may be, it's extremely bad faith. And like that's why I invite people to come up here and debate me. If you want to debate, I'll allow you to come up here. And just like you did, like I asked you some questions. It didn't take very much to get you to give your honest opinion, and then I allowed you to say whatever it is that you wanted to say. You know what I mean? And then told you where I disagreed. It's not that big a deal,
May I ask what it is that you disagree with from the general consensus of, such as like the Earth moving or the Earth not being a globe?
Again, until somebody comes up here and shows me a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth, it's not a scientific belief to think that we know the shape and the size of the Earth at all. Until
one of the first things that I learned about the curvature of the Earth, I remember when I was very young, was a Greek, not only philosopher but a mathematician.
Right, we don't even know if that was a real person.
In Egypt.
You're talking about Eratosthenes. We don't even know if that was a real person.
You're correct.
We don't even know if that was a real person, number one. And number two, this experiment has already been shown many times to not prove the Earth is a globe. Like that's what I said. I'm like, I know that you believe certain things, but the things that you believe, I have also been taught and have done the extra homework to check them out to see if they really prove what they're saying, and they don't. I invite you to go do some extra research on this. Bearded Bastard said, faking the moon landing does not mean the Earth is flat, though. Yeah, it's basically poking holes in the character of the organization that you guys are referencing for your quote-unquote images that show the what the Earth looks like. You say, oh, well, no, you got to trust NASA. Well, if they fake the moon landing, do you understand? Then how much can you trust anything that they say ever after that is the point. Why would you ever trust somebody that lies to you even one time, let alone hundreds of times? Let alone hundreds. All right, let's see. Casey, listen, I appreciate you. I'm going to see if these other guys want to say something. You're welcome up here anytime. You know what I mean? I appreciate your conversation. If you want to stay and talk more, if you want to stay and talk more after I talk to these guys, you can. But either way, I appreciate you and you're welcome up here anytime. All right?
Yeah.
Shout out Casey. All right, let's see what these other guys are talking about. Mailbox, you're up here to troll us, right? Mailbox. Are you up here to troll? In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, wait. Here.
You're up here to troll, bro?
No.
You're up here to troll, bro. Stop lying.
I'm just here to talk, bro.
What do you want to talk about, bro? Go ahead.
I just want to talk about facts about history. And I agree that's a lot of lies and statistics.
You said you agree history is a lot of lies.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'd
what
like
made
to discuss it with someone.
you want to discuss it with someone?
Yeah.
And why don't I believe you?
I don't know. I'm not you.
You don't know why. You don't know why somebody might not take you serious
No.
at all.
No.
Where are you from, bro?
Ohio.
You're from Ohio.
Yeah.
What part of Ohio?
Central Ohio.
Sounds like a lie, bro.
No one comes from Central Ohio?
No, you had to think about it. You're like, Central Ohio.
See myself.
All right, so you believe that everything in history is a lie?
Yeah.
And so do you believe that they told the truth about finding out that the earth was a globe?
I believe they lied about many things. Like
What about finding out that the earth was a
80
globe?
years ago.
You said like what?
Like around 80 years ago, I'd say. Since that, you know.
What happened 80 years
Even
ago?
more than that.
What happened 80 years
I
ago?
just think that I think it's quite weird. Jews were just suddenly hated, banned from 190 countries. One of them was their fault. It's fucking weird.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't even hear you, bro. You gotta talk a little louder. Oh, he left. Why'd you leave, man? Lamppost, are you up here to troll us?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
All right, I appreciate that. What subject did you come up here to talk about?
Nah, I was just interested in what you're saying, and might put my input in, but as of now, I'm just listening.
Are you just listening, bro?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep you on mute.
If I have something to say, I'll.
Yeah, just let me know, all right, and I'll take you off mute.
Yeah. No, I'll mute myself.
I'm gonna mute you too, just in case. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, just in case.
Right.
Yeah, just in case, my brother. Thank you. Yes, yes. All right, Grim, are you up here to troll us? Grim.
No.
Huh?
No.
Oh, fantastic. Well, what subject did you come up here to talk about, Grim?
About how I believe the Earth isn't flat.
You believe the Earth is a globe?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, have you personally seen a scientific experiment
No.
No?
I was like, now. Yes.
Yes, you have seen a scientific experiment that the Earth is a globe.
Studying people who believe the Earth is flat, and I was listening to their, I don't know, debates.
Hold on, bro. I asked you a question. Did you hear my question?
Yes, I was getting to that.
Well, I want you to get to it right away before you tell us the story, if that's okay.
There are many topics I have to say about this.
There are many
But
topics.
first one,
Hold on, bro. Hold on. First of all, there are many topics you have to say about this. Red flag already. All right, red flag. Flag on the play. Okay, flag on the play. By the way, guys, like the video, okay? Like the video if you like what we're doing. If you like the content, please subscribe. Okay, listen, Mel. My question is, listen, I couldn't hear any of that, all right? My question is, have you seen a scientific experiment that proves the shape and the size of the Earth?
Not in the specific time, but I will find more proof later, but I have a lot of things to say about it. First off, gravity. There would not
Hold on, bro. Hold on. First of all, I do appreciate you for admitting that you don't have an experience. I can't hear you, all right? I do appreciate you for admitting that, all right? You have not personally seen a scientific experiment that proved the shape and the size, but you are going to go do some research and try to bring one back to us. That's what you said, right? Huh?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we both agree that as of right now, according to what I know and what he has available, the shape and the size of the earth is not a scientific theory because we do not have scientific evidence of it. Now, you wanted to move on to gravity? What about gravity?
No gravitational pull towards the earth if it was flat.
Well, how do you know, or how about this? Has gravity ever been proven through a scientific experiment?
Goes up, most come down.
I know, but has the existence of gravity been proven through a scientific experiment?
Yes.
What is the name of that experiment?
This guy.
This guy?
I'm sorry, y'all.
The name of the experiment is this guy? I never heard that experiment before, bro.
This guy is so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm gone.
How am I stupid by asking you a question? What? I'm asking questions. Why are these guys so mad? Fustino, are you still in here, bro? Are you up here? Are you trolling Fustino? Huh?
Was I muted the whole time?
Fustino, you was talking to yourself that whole time. You talking to me this whole time? I didn't hear a single word you said for the last hour, bro. The last hour you've been sitting there on mute talking to yourself.
That's correct.
Bud, I mean, for real. Shout out Leslie. Shout out Leslie. Shout out Zanfel. Like the video, guys.
What do we call you?
Huh?
What do we call you? What do we call you? What's your name? Or you don't want to share?
You ain't got to worry about all that, all right? What subject did you come up here to talk about, bro?
Do you think there's an island of trash in the ocean?
Huh?
Do you think or believe there is a lot of trash in the ocean?
That's not up here, bro.
Point.
Huh?
There is a lot of trash in the ocean.
I'm really trying to understand you, bro. There's a lot of crash in the ocean, fish in the ocean. What are you saying? Huh?
Garbage, trash.
I don't know. I've never been in the ocean like that.
In crisis, man, we need to take steps, factual steps, physical steps, acting in a particular way.
You talking about cleaning the oceans right now? All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us about cleaning the oceans. My bad. Go ahead.
What we need to do is to change the conversation in the media. Like we can have Saturdays where everyone runs the mile. Everybody.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have Jorgen from Fairly Odd Parents giving us a public service announcement on trash in the ocean and running 1 mile every week. Go ahead, Jorgen.
Every week, everybody. And that will unite us. if we start doing it, in a couple of years, we will live in a whole different world because we will have something in common.
We must get all the fairies together to run 1 mile every week, and then we will have world peace. All the fairies.
Elegant idea.
I agree with you, bro. I told you I'm on board, bro. Whatever idea you have, count me in. All right, I'm with you. I'm already there. You want to run a mile? Let me know when. I'll run. You want to clean up the ocean? You want to clean up the ocean? Let me know. I'll come clean up the ocean, bro.
But you're the guy who can accomplish it. You can start a referendum in your country.
I can't, bro. I don't know if you know how things work in America, bro, but I don't have the complexion for the protection, all right, to be trying to do all that.
Just open an AI.
Listen. You gotta
ask the question.
Have you ever heard of Andrew Wilson? Go to Andrew Wilson's channel. Andrew Wilson can get this done for you. Yeah, Andrew Wilson is the type of guy that likes doing this kind of stuff. All right, yeah, he's the one that cares about the world and wants to fix the world by forcing people to be religious. He'll enjoy this. He'll enjoy it. Go to Andrew Wilson's chat, and he's been looking for you. Trust me.
Okay, thank you. What does he talk about?
Just go find his page. Type in The Crucible. It's The Crucible. He talks about Jesus and being good to the world, helping everybody out, equality. He loves stuff like this. Yeah, he's the guy that does this kind of stuff. Yeah, just tell him I sent you, and he'll let you right up. Yeah, tell him I sent you, and he'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, good people.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah. So go tell him, he'll help you out with that. I promise.
Does he do live shows?
Yeah, he does. He does live show. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You just gotta go follow him. When he goes live, he'll let you up, and he'll let you do the whole thing.
If you don't want to help right now, it's all right.
Like I said, you get it going. Let me know, and I'll join in, bro.
Yeah, thank you for recommending Andrew.
Of course.
So, what do you want to talk about, or should I leave?
Is there something else you want to talk about, or is that just it? I thought that's all you had, bro.
I would like to ask you, if dirt is flat, what's underneath it, or like this kind of stuff?
I never said the Earth was flat.
Oh, okay.
I said the Earth is not a globe. Anything else?
Top of my mind, I don't know.
All right. Well, you know, Fustino, you're welcome up here anytime. All right. Just let me know if you got something else you want to say. I'm gonna put you on mute for now. Okay.
I'm probably just gonna leave.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being in here, Fustino. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're a nice guy. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. And make sure you tell Andrew that I sent you too. Okay. All right. Shout out Fustino. All right, Casey, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, Casey. Is there something else that was on your mind that you wanted to discuss?
Well, I mean, the more that I've sat and thought about some of the things that you and I briefly talked about, the more that I realized that a lot of it is like debate tactic and whatnot, of being able to stop somebody before they ramble and a few other things. But I really do like the way that you had posited several of your questions, such as the Earth equals not a globe, because it immediately gets people to go, well, the Earth isn't flat, but that's not even what it says.
Exactly.
Because people are so conditioned because of a lot of the more like shallow debates that happen all the time, to think immediately that's what it is, instead of looking at it like, well, I mean, technically I agree with him in this. And people would be like, what do you mean you agree? And I'm like, well, I think it's a 3D oval.
Right. I mean, at the very least, if you think it's an oblate spheroid, then you are agreeing that it's not technically a globe.
What I want to know is nobody has engaged on America being Atlantis, not in a serious way, or some of the others. I would really like to hear what you have to say about those.
Yeah, no problem. Most of the time when people are talking about Atlantis, they think they're referencing writings from Plato. Would you agree with that?
In so much that I understand it, yes.
Yeah.
It's not something that I've ever studied extensively.
Well, most people haven't. They just Google it and look at the AI, and the AI will say Plato said this. But if you actually read Plato's writings, which I've posted some of those writings on my TikTok page, his writings from Critias, when he's talking about Atlantis in detail, in extreme detail, it becomes very clear that he's talking about America, describing the location, what the landmass looked like, the people, etc., etc. So that is one of the major things that right away debunks any idea that anybody already has about Atlantis. Because most of the time people come up and they're like, well, I think Atlantis is in the middle of Africa, or I think it's here, or there. And I ask them, okay, well, what are you basing that on? And they say the writings of Plato. And I'm like, that can't be correct. Because I read the writings of Plato, and I know that he was talking about America. So that's one very big piece of evidence that pretty much encompasses every conversation that I'm ever going to have with somebody about Atlantis. Now, to take it a step further for the actual educated people, there are many writings from other people, Francis Bacon being one of them, where they just flat out call America Atlantis. And I can show you a map from the Library of Congress in the 1600s that shows North and South America, and it's called the island of Atlantis. So at that point, it's not a question of whether or not America is Atlantis. It's a question of whether or not it's the Atlantis that people think they're talking about, this mythical place. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
I do.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with the conversation. Is it the ancient Atlantis, or is it just a place that people used to be, or is it just a place that used to be called Atlantis? Because that much is not up for debate. So if you look, but like I said, if you look at the writings of Plato, back then they didn't obviously call it America. They called it Atlantis. In some translations, they call it Western Ethiopia. And they are describing America clearly by geographic location and by the structure of the land.
It's interesting. I of course understand that most like layperson's introduction to Atlantis was by Disney. So like I get the fact that most people are like, well, we don't have what is it, like floating ancient technology and stuff.
Would you be surprised to know that people actually come in and say that to me? They're like, America can't be Atlantis. It's not underwater. And I'm like, well, where did you get that Atlantis is underwater? I saw it in that movie.
It's a good movie, though.
It was, you know what I mean? But listen, I love sci-fi movies, all right? Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. That doesn't mean that I think that everything in it is real. You know, same thing with the Disney movie, you know. So like I said, I know you're intelligent enough to be like, okay, you know, that doesn't mean the Disney movie is fake necessarily, but it's not exactly a source.
Give me a lot of credit.
Yeah, but it's not a source. Well, because you corrected yourself on that already. You didn't come in here and say, well, the Disney movie. And you're smart enough to know, like, I guess most people really only know it from the Disney movie. Most people, they don't even think about that before they come in here and challenge me. They just challenge me. Then in the middle of their conversation, they're like, oh, it's the Disney movie that I got this from. And maybe I am giving you too much credit, though. Fine, I'll take it back. Are you playing a game? What game are you playing?
Yes, I am. I'm playing League of Legends right now.
Oh, of course.
I know it.
It's all good, man. Smuggy said, Atlantis has been made to seem like a fantasy land, but that's the point. We aren't supposed to know about the reset. Very interesting. Shout out Smuggy. Mr. Lono said, gravity is supposed to hold air in. The vacuum of space is what I am talking about. Gas is air. Gas needs a container to exist. Very interesting. Either way, is there another question you have, Mr. Casey? as we wind down?
Not really. I just wanted to go over and say I'm interested in seeing how people handle the jostling of their beliefs, because technically, if you can't question your belief, whether it's a good belief or not, comparatively to what other humans would think, then why do you have it? Do you really believe it, like because there's some truth to it, or is it just a dogmatic view?
Yeah, that was so powerful. We should almost go out on that comment. I ain't gonna lie. That was profound, and it's literally the reason why I do what I do. I'm not coming up here to convince you. I just want to see where your beliefs lie and whether or not it's a belief based on actual evidence or if it's religious. And I don't have a problem with either one. I really don't. I don't judge.
I do tend to have some issues with religious stuff because it's always rooted in dogma when you get down to it, but that's kind of my personal thing. I've also kind of struggled with, I live in the southern United States, so religion is a bit of a burgeoning kind of difficult milestone to get through.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I agree with that 100%. And whether I am on the same side as other people in their beliefs, I never want to challenge their ability to be able to believe what they want or express it. And I would hope they don't do the same to me. So, listen, Casey, you're welcome up here anytime, man. This has been one of the most pleasant conversations I had all week with somebody that disagrees. So, as you guys see, I don't just mute people and overtalk and whatever it is. We can have positive conversations if you are, willing to converse in good faith, as Casey has shown he has the ability to do today. So, you're welcome up here anytime, my friend.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Shout out Casey. All right. Okay, hold on. Fustino is back. Fustino, did you have some closing words for us?
So, a bunch of flat earthers got together and had the idea. I'm hearing myself, I don't know why.
Neither do I, but finish what you're saying.
Went to one of the biggest lakes on the earth, and they shine a laser over the lake, and the laser height when they move it up and down.
And what does that mean?
Because water is flat on this lake, and light travels at a straight line. It kites when they move it up and down in the horizon.
Okay. And then?
That is the curvature proven.
I would have to disagree with you on that. That doesn't prove anything, my friend.
I don't know the name of the lake, but
Well, I respectfully disagree. I don't think that proves anything. There have been many long-range observations of the same kind that you're describing that have shown that there is no curvature in more than 10 times the amount of space needed to be able to track many miles of curvature. So I would have to disagree with that. Now, if you can show me something of the contrary, then maybe I'll take your word for it. But until then, I can't take your word for it.
Google it.
I can Google it?
Yeah.
Do you think everything you see on Google is true, Fustino?
Of course not.
Well, we gotta exercise some discretion besides just what's on Google, You feel me?
Yes, of course.
All right. Well, shout out, hey, Faustino. Like I said, you're welcome up here anytime. All right. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Shout out, Faustino. All right. We've been in here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Is that enough time? That's enough time, right? For today? I still kind of want to go live on TikTok later. Mr. Lono said the formula is 8 inches squared over 1 mile for distance viewable. Gregory said the devil divides us. Smuggy said if you confuse and divide the masses, they are weaker. Stop trolling. First warning. Shout out Mr. Lono. No Garlic Bread said gravity is the attraction of mass. You know, you believe that dumb shit because you have that dumb name. All right? Always, excuse me, always garlic bread. All right? Always garlic bread. Shout out I am that is. But with my Nikon 900, I can disprove that formula. Huh? Religions were designed to confuse and divide us. D. Frey said, what is Earth if it's not globe or flat? It could be many different things. But they cannot recreate this theory scientifically. Shout out Mr. Lono. Gravity is supposed to hold air. That's what that was. Malik 53 said, interesting. What's good, Malik? No garlic bread. I don't want to read any of your comments just because you have that terrible name. Confusing the masses is the objective. Ugh. Excuse me. Atlantis has been made. Oh, I already read that. All right, I think I'm out of here, guys. All right, we've been in here long enough, right? We've been here long enough. Mr. Lono, you can see much further than this model. This is the globe Earth model I am talking about. All right, listen, thank you everybody that tuned in. All right, I will be on tomorrow. We're going to keep this streak going. We've had a very hot week. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, no, this was a good live. I actually enjoyed this live. This one was less trolling, for real. Yeah, this one was less trolling. I think we made some progress today, guys, right? Like the video and subscribe if you like the content. Join the Discord if you ever want to call in or if you want to suggest new topics for us. All right, I don't mind changing these topics up here, but it got to be interesting. All right, it got to be interesting. So suggest new topics in the Discord. Like the video. Subscribe if you like us. I might be live later on TikTok tonight. So you're going to have to follow us. You're going to have to join the Discord to see if that happens. All right. I love you guys so much, for real. Shout out Swaggy. Shout out Mr. Lono. I'll see you guys tomorrow or tonight on Discord. Or tonight on TikTok. All right. Yeah, suggest some new topics for more fun. Yeah. Like I said, if it's a good topic, then I'll consider it for sure. I am not a stubborn man. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Be safe out there, all right? Be safe. Spread love. All right, spread love on Christmas Day. Okay, don't spread hate. Don't try to shut people down just because they disagree with you. Be like Mr. Casey. Disagree with people in a civilized way. So are we saying Albert Einstein was a liar too? Of course he was a liar. What kind of question is that? All right, bye. Last comment. Hey, Dizzy Chizzy said, spread loosh. Hey, spread loosh on Christmas Day. Thank you for that comment, Dizzy. Yeah, spread loosh, guys. And stop stealing it. Don't steal the loosh, spread the loosh. If it's one thing if it's one thing I know about history, science, and loosh. What's good, Trip? I appreciate you, man. I'll see you guys later. Dylan said Albert had some series, but if he was a genius, then why couldn't he build the atomic? Well, all right, that's enough.